Good afternoon, all of you, and welcome to Nesto Institute. Thanks for your coming. Those who are joined online, thank you so much for your joining. This is our second seminar of our knowledge enhancement program. Our motto is to, bring experts from the particular industry and share thoughts, knowledge, updates, upgrades, and what is happening in the industry. The end of the day, we feel proud. You all get updated. You all, get your career enhanced in your life. So we are all happiest persons in the life. Today we have N. Vijayakumar. He worked with me in ING Bank at some years. Then he moved to Standard Chartered Bank, was managing a wealth in Standard Chartered Bank. Then he worked in ICICI Bank, and then he's on his own now. And he's become an entrepreneur, and he's managing around 450 crores of business, India and globally. And welcome Vijay Kumar. And this is a great moment. I still go back the years of 2003 or 4. He joined with me in ING Bank as manager, and we have grown. So I feel happy the people grow, and we feel happy the people get promoted. We feel happy the people get succeeded in our life. Like we have Suresh sir also there. He is from Canara Bank. He has also got lot of awards in Canara Bank. And recently also he has got award. So the moment people succeed in life, that's why our success comes. I personally feel if someone succeeds, I'm the happiest person in the world. Right? With that note, and I request Vijay Kumar to take it up for next 1.5 hours and giving his experience, giving his thought process, how to build wealth, because money also is equally important. I always feel knowledge brings money. We are giving a knowledge of making money or building money or growing the money. Right? With that, ladies and I request Vijay Kumar to take it up for next 1.5 hours and giving his experience, giving his thought process, how to build wealth, because money also is equally important. I always feel knowledge brings money. We are giving a knowledge of making money or building money or
Am I audible? All right. Akbar had Birbal. Chanakya Gupta had Chanakya. Chandragupta had Chanakya. Shivaji Maharaj had Tanaji. Likewise, Nesto is there for students. This, when Hari sir has told me about this program, I was really ecstatic because I haven't presented to the student community. There's a lot of YouTube viewers today. I understand that there are a lot of students who have enrolled in this program. So before I get into the program, if I speak in English, it will touch your heart. If I speak in Tamil, it will touch your mind. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. So I decided to do this program both in English, little bit in Tamil for the better understanding. A lot of students have enrolled in this program. So before I get into the program, if I speak in English, it will touch your heart. If I speak in Tamil, it will touch your mind. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education. Hari sir, just joined. Thank you for the nice introduction, sir. I said in English, little bit in Tamil. Akbar had Birbal. I said Akbar had Birbal, Chandragupta had Chanakya, Shivaji Maharaj had Tanaji. Likewise, Nesto is for students, and for me is all Hariharan. I've been mentored, I've been nurtured, I've grown. You are my friend, philosopher. Thank you for giving this opportunity and set this stage to speak to the students. So, before I get into the program, I said Akbar had Birbal, Chandragupta had Chanakya, uh, Shivaji Maharaj had Tanaji. Likewise, Nesto is for students, and for me is all Hariharan. The context of this program is very simple. Grown. What we followed in 1980s, in 70s, and 60s is no longer exists today. Today, in a VUCA world, VUCA is something like VUCA: volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. What was then applicable in 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s is no longer applicable today. Today, the world has totally changed. So in 2023, today the lifestyles have changed. For example, hardly 2000 guys will travel in a bus, public transport, or in a car. People take Uber, Ola. Today, we when we grew up, hardly we go to hotels. Once in 2 months or once in 3 months we go to hotels. Now, at least once in 10 days or 15 days or maybe a daily activity, people are having food in hotels. What I am trying to say, that things have changed. So what was applicable then in terms of the investments may or may not be applicable today. To give you an example, in 80s and 70s, people buy gold coin. Today we are talking about Bitcoin. What I'm trying to say, that things have changed. Today, in 80s and 90s, when we search for, brides and grooms, we ask for, people work in banking job. Bank la வேலை பார்த்து may not be applicable today. To give you an example, in 80s and 70s, people buy gold coin. Today we are talking about Bitcoin. What I'm trying to say, that things have changed. Today, in 80s and 90s, when we search for, brides and grooms, we ask for, people work in banking job. Bank la வேலை பார்த்து may not be applicable today. To give you an example, in 80s and 70s, people buy gold coin. Today we are talking about Bitcoin. What I'm trying to say, that things have changed. Today, in 80s and 90s, when we search for, brides and grooms, we ask for, people work in banking job. Bank la வேலை பார்த்து
The point which I want to tell you is that this problem has not come immediately. This problem is what we have been doing for the last 2 decades. Similar way, what we follow, what we have following today, in the sense buying the traditional assets, which is what gold, which is what property, which is what land, which is what traditional post office, provident fund, anything else, may or may not be helpful to you, because today the things have changed. So if you notice it clearly, this way of the world we lived in 70s and 80s, things have changed to OTT, things have changed to Uber, things have changed to high luxury car. I will ask you a very simple question. In 2023, have you checked any of your colleagues in the last 1 year? Anybody has bought Maruti 800 or Alto car in the last 1 year? Have you noticed the minimum two-wheeler today? Suppose you want to buy a minimum two-wheeler, you need a two-wheeler.
Wheeler cost you 1 lakh. It was not the case 2 years before, 3 years before. What has happened? Things have totally changed in 2023. So what our grandfathers have done, what our father has done is not applicable today, because today we are living in a VUCA world. What we call is, in financial jargon, we call it as TINA, TINA to TARA. TINA is nothing but there is no alternative. TINA is not a student here, so TINA is there is no alternative. TARA is there are reasonable alternatives. Today there are a lot of reasonable alternatives. To give you an example, people used to do only traditional savings, traditional investing. What has happened today? So what has happened today? The situation or the circumstances is totally different from the way that the people had that lifestyle in 80s and 90s. So this you can actually see this slide. This were our family say in 80s and 90s where cousin, brother, anna, tambi, ella onna irundhom. But today, only husband, wife, one kid, maybe in some family, so two kids. The nuclear family. Today, what I am trying to say is that what was then so good is no longer applicable today. So, if I can actually correlate this, so then if you see today, women live longer than the men. Have you noticed in your own family, party live longer than the tata? So the women longevity has gone up, say, to 70 years, to 75 years, to 80 years, to 85 years. Today, the average longevity for women is 85 years. This was not the scenario in 1960s or 70s. What I am trying to say that things have changed. The world is changing. So why is that we have to keep only the traditional investments? What is the importance of having you acclimatize to the new financial assets which is going to be the need of the hour? Why you should do financial assets? What is financial asset? Whether it is a stock market, whether it is mutual fund, why you should do a financial asset investing is what the context of this program. So what I am trying to say here is the things have changed. We need to change. How important is for you to change? If you do not change, what is likely to happen? So I am going to give you the four important formulas. The when Hari sir has given me this topic to me, he said 1 rupee to 1 crore. Even if you invest 1 crore, 1 rupee, you can still achieve 1 crore. But there are various ways in achieving the 1 crore target. So all the four formulas I am going to discuss for our four ways where we can reach that 1 crore. 1 crore milestone is very important. Why is that important? What is that we should do to achieve that 1 crore is what we are going to see in the next few slides. So in this context, there can be different lifestyles. There can be it can be a retirement for you, maybe a vacation. Vacation was not there some 20 years before, 30 years before. People hardly go for vacation. People hardly go in aeroplanes today. I was in airport couple of days before. Airport is full today. Every airport is full. In weekends you will not get hotels because people go for a holiday, people go for weekend spending, people go for a enjoyment. This was not the case there. Another example which I want to tell you why this money, why the savings of traditional way may not work. For example, your father days and your grandfather days, people start their career at 23, 24 in a government job in 80s and 70s or 90s, and they work till 58 years, permanent job. There's no problem. There's no job. There is a job security there. Absolutely no problem. And after they retire, they get pension. In scenario, people who are starting career now or probably 5 years before or 10 years before, they have only tension. There's no pension. So what you save today, what you earn today, where you invest today, that is going to determine your life. So the scenario then and now is different, is what the context, and how to achieve that 1 crore is what the next slide that we are going to see. So I am going to debunk or burst the myth. There are 4 or 5 myths I wanted to burst. This is very important for you to learn before before you know the methods to achieve that 1 crore. So there is a myth that you need to earn a lot for you to save. It is actually a myth. Even a smaller money on a longer period of time will help you. So what we are going to do in the next few slides is the how do you invest, how early you should start, how early investing is of help to you. Even by investing a smaller amount for a longer period of time, how you can retire even at 45 years, 50 years. For example, today at 42 years, I am totally retired. Thanks to Hari sir, he helped me to make an investing at the age of 21, 22. So I've been making an investment for 21, 22 years. This has helped me actually, where I can run my family with more of financial freedom because it gives me a passive income. So why investing at the younger age is very important is what we are going to discuss here. So to be financially independent, to get passive income, money is the raw material. We have to understand money only can make money. So you have to have a good career. The career should give you money. What is career? You are giving your time to your company. You are giving a time to your employer where for the time that you give, they are giving you money. So you need to have a good career. Good career is not good enough. You need to have the second income because what will happen? Let's take an example during the Corona time. In COVID time, what has happened? In COVID time, the employer did not like you, or probably you do not like the employer. So in the COVID time has taught us an important lesson why saving is very important, why investing. People have got financial assets, say people have got say stocks, they got dividend income. People have got mutual fund, they have got an income. People have got a property, they have got a rental income. People have got fixed deposit, they have got a fixed deposit interest. People have got any other asset class, they got an income. People who have suffered during the corona time is the people who have not saved. So corona has taught us a very important lesson that saving is a very important thing in our life, but saving is not good enough. There is a thin difference between a saving and investing. Saving is just earning money and translating into an asset class, which can be a gold, which can be a real estate, which can be a stock market, which can be a mutual fund. That is only going to help you. So that is what the next slide that we are going to see here. So the context here is the money is the raw material. Without money, one is that we cannot survive. Only money can grow. Only money can multiply over a period of time. So why we need money? Because we need to beat the inflation. Because we need to have the financial freedom. Because in our retirement, as I have told in the beginning, there is no pension, it's only attention. So we need to have more money because the things have changed. It was not like 80s and 70s. So it's a very dry topic. Let's have some interaction. I have enough chocolates and gifts to give you. Let's talk about this before we. Let's take a real example for inflation. So when I started my career, I have my friend Sundar is also here. We all started career together along with Hari when Hari has nurtured. So Peter's Road Saravana Bhavan is a very famous hotel for masal dosa. People can recollect 15 years before, 20 years before. The masal dosa was 15 rupees when I started my career in say in 2002 or 2003. One trainer has told me, no, masal dosa is going to cost you some 50 rupees or 40 rupees. I was a young kid then. I was actually laughing at him. I didn't understand much. But today, if I notice it, in 2023, if you want to have a masal dosa in a hotel, it is 100 rupees. If you want to have a good masal dosa, it's 123 rupees, 125 rupees. This is the people who are in Trichy and other area can actually correlate this. What was coffee cost 1 rupee, today it's costing 30 rupees or 40 rupees in a hotel. So what has happened? Inflation is nothing but you had 15 rupees. For example, masal dosa, same masal dosa, I got it in 2003 or 2004. But today, if I go with 15 rupees, I'm not going to get the one masal dosa because the prices have gone up. What inflation means is that over a period of time, the prices will go up for the same quantity. Take petrol also, for example. We got 1 liter petrol, same 1 liter petrol. Today, it is costing you 100 rupees. What it was some 60 rupees or 70 rupees. What we have to understand is that whenever there is a demand supply mismatch, and especially a country like us where we are a poor country, where we are importing more and exporting less, the currency will depreciate. The currency depreciates, obviously the interest rate will go up, which means the inflation will also go up. So this is the biggest risk that we carry. I used to tell this about inflation to all my customers. You can come out of infection, you can come out of inflammation, but you cannot come out of inflation. Because this is the biggest risk that we are carrying actually. Because why inflation is the biggest risk is because today we are going to live longer. It is not like if you go back to history and read. When I read, during Vivekananda times, the longevity of life is only 40 years, 50 years. You take prior independence, the longevity of life is only 60 years, 65 years. Today, the longevity of life has gone up. People invariably live till 85 years, 90 years. There are people live beyond 90 years because what you save from 25 to 55 or 25 to 60 is what it is going to help you post retirement, because post retirement after 60 you need income. You may have an asset, you may have a property. Today, if you have a property for 1 crore, hardly you get a rent for 15,000 rupees. Today, you may have a land. We don't know which political party will take what. So today you may have a land, but you need an income. You need an income to run when you live longer. So this is the problem that we have today. So I tell this in a very lighter note. You know, முடி வந்து முடி வெட்டும் போது 20 years before I had long hair. My hair is falling, but my prices of haircut has gone up. So I used to pay 15 rupees, 10 rupees while I haircut. Today the same haircut, I have less hair, but I am paying 100 rupees, 150 rupees, 200 rupees. This is inflation for you. The inflation is nothing but the prices will go up. Eventually over a period of time people cannot afford to buy. The reason why inflation we need to learn before we understand that 1 crore formula is that today the rich is always richer is because rich has got assets. The poor is always poor. Poor do not have an assets. Let's take COVID time. COVID time, no rich people have got affected because rich had got an asset. Rich people have got property. Rich people have got stocks. Rich people have got equities. Rich people have got mutual funds. Rich people have got enough fixed deposit. Rich people have got enough businesses. Whereas the poor who is running only for bread and butter on every day without savings, they are the people who have got affected. So what it clearly evident is that we need income. For that we need to have a good career. To have a good career you need to have a good savings. The good savings is not enough. You'll have to transfer to an asset class. Why you have to transfer to an asset class is because of the biggest problem that we face today in 2023, which is the inflation problem. Hope I am clear in this. So the average inflation, if I just wanted to correlate before I get into the slide. So the average inflation in the last 40 years is in the range of 6.8%. So I don't need to tell you what is inflation. Today, if we go and buy tomato, you know what is the price. No, I can buy 1 liter of petrol, but I can't buy 1 kilo of tomato. So தக்காளி விலை இன்னைக்கு அப்படியே ஆயிடுது இன்னைக்கு. So this is the problem today. So without food, another example which I wanted to tell you, in US also there is an inflation. There's a big inflation is going on. But in India, 50% of the people who buys or the spends is only because of food inflation. Whereas in US, they spend 20% only after out of their earnings is in the food and the other items. Which means what? 60-70% they spend on rent, on properties, because the rental is very costly. In US, rental is very costly. Owning house is very costly. So whereas in India, a country like us, we spend more money only in buying food, especially vegetables, meat, and all that. Because food constitutes almost 40-50% in the CPA and WPA index also. So this is a real example. Suppose you had 100 rupees, say in 81, in the time 80-81, I just took it when maybe in 40-42 years I took it. Suppose you have 100 rupees, you just kept it and slept it. Today the value of money according to the inflation is only 4 rupees, which means 96 rupees have been eroded in the last 40 years. So inflation is the biggest risk. Let's see this. For example, if I take 8% inflation, higher rate, usually inflation will be 5-6%. High inflation is also not good. Low inflation is also not good. We are not in the hyperinflation. There is no problem because we need some inflation for you to have growth. If you have more inflation, then money do not have any value. So average 4-5% inflation is good. But if you take hypothetically assuming 8% inflation, suppose you have 20,000 rupees to spend. Suppose உப்பு புளி மிளகா வாங்குறதுக்கு 20,000 ரூபாய் செலவாகுதுன்னு வச்சுக்கலாம். For example, for the same 20,000 rupees, 10 years down the line, you need to spend 43,000 rupees. In 30 years down the line, you need to spend 2 lakh of rupees for buying the same, as I told you, 1 liter of petrol, 1 masala dosa, same uppu puli mulaga, same the groceries. What I am trying to say is that the inflation is the biggest risk that we carry. So we need that 1 crore target. That 1 crore is the minimum money, because once you make that 1 crore, then the money will start making money. We will see it in the formula, in the 4 formula. So let's see what is the. So inflation is the silent killer. So I took Amul. Let's see In 2006 it was 16 rupees. Today it is actually 56. It is actually slightly outdated. It is more than 56 rupees because we don't buy Amul here. We buy Avin. So let's ask the people here. So tell us, யார் ஆவின் பால் யூஸ் பண்றீங்களா? ஆவின். You tell me Avin, what is Avin blue cost? I'll give you a chocolate. Avin blue, 1 liter. If you go and buy, not delivered at home is slightly costly and there is a subsidy there. Suppose you go to a shop and buy Avin blue or Avin green or orange, anything you tell me. No, no, Avin blue. Exactly, exactly. 2020 Anand, why don't you pass on this chocolate to sir? Great, sir. Yes, there is a subsidy that you get, but in a shop, if you go, it is 20 rupees. Or orange nobody buys. It is 30. Green, 22. 22 of liter. Very good. So, what I am trying to say here is the basic inflation is not likely to be static. Because you get some subsidy in petrol, we don't know what will happen next year. The crude is already started going up to 83, 84, as I see last week. So the without subsidy, if you take, the inflation have skyrocketed in the last 2 years, especially post COVID. If you notice it, post COVID, every prices have gone up. For the same goods that we purchase. So this example is a classic example. Suppose you had 1 lakh of rupees current value, it's actually in 2021. If you take it in 2023, is much lesser than this. Suppose you had 1 lakh of rupees, not done anything. The inflation eroded value is currently at only 5,100 rupees. So let's take education. Let's take education cost. There are many, people study outside India, US, Singapore. They had a big problem last year because the rupee, what it was from 62, 63, it has depreciated to 72, 73, right? Correct? So what has happened? You determine say 50 lakhs for say studying in Singapore. You determine 1 crore in studying in US. Suddenly it has gone up by 10% because rupee is a depreciating asset class. When I grew or when I bond, the rupee to dollar was 6 rupees. Today we are seeing rupee at what? Today at what? 80, 82. 82 rupees, right? From 72 it has gone 82 in 1 year. So rupee has been a constant depreciating asset class, which has also helped the gold, which I will come to that point little later. So the education inflation has gone up by at least 10%, whether it is in school or college. Today, even during the corona time, the schools have charged. Even during the online program, people have charged to 50,000, 75,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh. Today, if you see the college fees and the school fees, it is actually skyrocketed because of inflation. So annually, education costs have gone up at least by 10%. The food inflation is only 6-7%, but the education cost has gone up by 10%. So the average CPI inflation, this is not my data, this is RBI data. In the last from 93 we took, average inflation is 6.8. It is only going to go up, it is not going to go down. So one such topic, so I told you 4 important things that we need to learn. One is that to beat inflation, whether our traditional investments or savings will beat the inflation. We have seen that. And we need to create what retirement. I have already told you, because we are going to retire maybe at a younger age, because we are in a VUCA world. Last year, if you notice it, any of the IT guys have got 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 5 jobs. People are talking about moonlighting and all that. Today, people are talking about layoff, job cuts, and all that. Things have how dynamically it has changed in the last 6 months and 1 year. If you notice it, it was 3 jobs, 2 jobs. Now it is suddenly to less than a job. So things, unlike in 70s and 80s, the things are dramatically changing. In 6 months, the dynamic will change. So the traditional investments, Let's see whether this products will beat the inflation. Provident fund is one of the finest investments that actually one can hold because exempt, which means now only the provident rate interest rate has come to 7.1%. Earlier it used to give you a higher rate of interest. But what has happened, as I have told you, when you have an inflation, real inflation of say 8%, 9%, because government gives you 8%, we don't know what real inflation is. When tomato costs more than 100 rupees, we don't know how to calculate inflation. So if the real inflation is much more, the traditional investments may not help you actually to beat the inflation, which means what? The money value will go down. Suppose you may think that you have 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs, 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs, or maybe 1 crore. That may not be suffice for you to run the same lifestyle because the lifestyles have totally changed. So the traditional asset class, invariably, let's see what sort of returns it has delivered. Can you help me to go back to the slide? I'm unable to go back. That four asset class. So the traditional asset class have delivered not inflation adjusted returns. Let's take an example. Let's take property for example. Let's take gold for an example. Let's take post office for an example. Let's take any other asset class for an example. Just think like this. In a property, people have bought property post 2010. People have bought property prior 2010. Let's take this example. People have bought post 2010. The property has not appreciated much. Prior 2010, people have bought. The property has appreciated much. Let's take an example. Let's take Mount Road. Let's take Spencer Plaza as an example. Let's take BKC in Bombay Nariman Point as an example. People have bought, say, in Mount Road or Spencer Plaza near. The last 10 years, the prices is just static. You would have bought for say 2 crores or 1 crore or 50 lakhs. Current value is also 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs because it is in your mind that you don't want to sell lesser than that. So the price has not corrected. The time has corrected significantly. Prior 2010, people have got because prior 2010 it is a different story altogether. Between 2003 and 2010 is a big boom for the real estate because there was a lot of tax regime also has changed. This is what I wanted to tell you. 1 minute. So So as I have told you, why property has gone up post 2010? Why property has not gone up post 2010? Why property has gone so much up before 2010 is because post 2010 the prices have gone up. People have bought the property at a higher prices. You say you take the dividend or you take the rental income. You may have a property for say 50 lakhs or a 1 crore. Today you get rent for say for a 1 crore property you get a rent for 15,000 to 20,000 rupees. Prior 2010 the prices have not gone up. Post 2010 the prices have gone up. For the price that you bought, that's what Buffett says. Price is what you pay and value is what you get. So the prices have gone up so steeply, the rental yield has not gone up. Prior 2010 வீடு வாங்கினாலே போதும், வீடு எதுக்குப்பா இஎம்ஐ கட்டிட்டு, எதுக்குப்பா வந்து வாடகை கொடுத்துட்டு இஎம்ஐ கட்டிக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சினாரியோ இருந்தது. 2003 to 2010 எதுக்கு நம்ம வாடகை கொடுக்கணும், எதுக்கு நம்ம வந்து இது கொடுக்கணும், அதுக்கு பதிலாக ஒரு வீடு வாங்கிடலாம். பிகாஸ் தெர் இஸ் அ டிமாண்ட் and to the demand the prices have gone up. Post 2010 the property significantly has time correction, not a price correction, because price is in your mind. என் வீடு 50 லட்சத்துக்கு தான் விற்கணும், என் வீடு 1 கோடிக்கு தான் இருக்கணுங்கிறது, because there is no regulation as far as the property is concerned, unlike the financial assets. So let's take other asset class. So the objective is to tell you to build that 1 crore. There are ways where we can build that 1 crore. The objective is to tell you how traditionally the asset class have performed. We discussed about real estate. We discussed about, let's see, equity. So equity is nothing but a day-to-day product. Let's hear out from people. So what is it we do in the morning? Madam, morning எந்திரிச்சோன்னா நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? தூங்கி எந்திரிச்சோன்னா what is that we use daily? We go to bathroom and we use what? Brush, brush, paste. என்ன paste யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம்? Colgate. Colgate is a equity investing. சரியா? Colgate is listed. சரியா? What is that we do post that, sir? You can tell me something. Coffee. Before that, we use soap, hammam soap. We use all Hindustan Unilever product, hammam soap, PS, shampoo, whatever. That is also equity. Then what is that? Shaving. Shaving we do what product that we use, sir? Invariably there are only this is the leader is there. Gillette. Gillette is also an equity. Then what product that we use other than that? Then we eat something in the morning. What is that we eat? There is a lot of young generation is there. So noodles. What noodles that we eat? Maggie. Maggie is what? Nestle. Whatever chocolate that I am giving is Cadbury's. So whatever products that we use is equity. Equity is nothing but their day-to-day consumption. Whether it is Horlicks, whether it is Boost, whether it is Surf Excel, whether you use Netflix, you use OTT platform, you use Sun TV, whether you use anything else. We are wearing Bata chappal, Bata shoe, whatever Maruti car is a equity. When you go to petrol bunk, IOCL, BPCL, HPCL, petrol bunk is equity. Whatever products that we hear, whatever ACs that we run, whether it is a Voltas or anything else, that is equity. Equity is nothing but a day-to-day product. இது நிறைய பேருக்கு தெரியாது. Because the poor things or the middle class people thinks risky asset class is nothing but a consumption. I will discuss why equity investing is very important at a later, maybe about 10 minutes we will discuss. So whether it is Kisan or Marico, Parachute is Marico. So Fair and Lovely or Brook Pond or Red Label, whatever products that we use is equity only. Am I right? So we discussed inflation, we discussed asset classes, we discussed real estate. So the real estate is totally a different product because real estate is not regulated like your PF. Real estate is not regulated like your PPF. இங்க ஒரு லேண்ட் இருந்தா இது ஒரு பிரைஸ், அங்க ஒரு லேண்ட் இருந்தா அங்க ஒரு பிரைஸ், உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்ச இடம்னா அது ஒரு பிரைஸ். So real estate is not that regulated. There was a lot of cash transactions, so we don't need to discuss all that. But the point here is, when we eat pongal, we get pepper. When we drink payasam, we don't get cashew nut. Sometimes if your luck is so bad, the property which you purchased, a land which you purchased, that can go terribly wrong. Whether it can be a Spencer Plaza, whether it is in Nariman Point in BKC, the point here is we need to have luck factor in real estate. Whereas in equity investing, எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரே price தான். The price is same for you and the price is same for me. Somebody in Bangalore also will have the same price. So the price is not going to be different. So, but we need to have all asset class. So which asset class has done well, which asset class has not done well, that will give you a clear picture for you to understand which asset class you must invest to beat the inflation, which asset class you must plan for your retirement, which asset class will help you to, when we live longer, when you have longevity of life. I want to bring that asset class or asset class performance. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah. So let's take the asset class performance over a period of last 20-30 years. The real inflation after 93, it is actually 6.8. Prior to that, it is almost 7%. The gold has delivered returns of about 8%. Silver has delivered about 7%. Bank FD, we took SBA as a benchmark. It's about 8.7%. PPF, actually the rates have come down now, but it used to give you 9.57%. If you notice it, the index, you don't need to buy any company, just buy an index. The index has got its own company. The index delivered 14%. The difference between 9% and 14%, you see the difference here. Had you invested 10,000 rupees here, the value of 10,000 versus an inflation versus the market value is totally different. What I am trying to say is that we need to have our asset class. There are ways to build 1 crore. But the superior asset class on a longer period of time is equity. The superior asset class, which has continuously, consistently beating inflation, is the equity asset class. So that is the reason rich is always richer. That is the reason rich is always, getting the income, because the money is taking care of their money. So if you notice it, almost 285 times it has grown. We took the data from where? For almost 40 years, we took the data. In fact, it is slightly higher. This data is up to 2021, 2022, and 2023. The stock markets have skyrocketed actually. So let's see how an individual, a student, as I have told you, I am going to give you 4 formulas to build 1 crore. So let's see how we can build that 1 crore. Before that, I want you to understand one simple logic. Yeah, just keep this 1 plus r, 1 plus r. Just keep that 1 plus r. Sorry. Yeah. So to beat the inflation, or to which asset class that we need to invest, this is a very important thing for us to understand. So the power of compounding. The power of compounding, I will tell you very, very simple terms. See, everything we know, everything is in YouTube. Motivation is in abundance. Discipline is only scarce. The reason why we want to take this class is that to tell you the importance of whatever we learned in schools and colleges, because we don't do that in our day-to-day practice. And as I used to tell, knowing is different, doing is different. We are paid for what we do, not for what we know. So in that context, let's see this formula. So there are a lot of professionals are there. They will be having PPF. They will be saying they will be saving for almost 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. If you notice this formula, it's very simple. The T is on an exponential. It is not on numerator. It is not on denominator. You understand this? So simple interest is the interest won't gets compounded. Whereas in compound interest, this is 1 plus r whole power n. N is the time. Suppose you put 2 here. Suppose you put 3 here. The money multiplies over a period of time. So 2 into 2 into 2. 3, if suppose you put 3 years. Suppose you put 4 years. For example, 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5. If you notice it, it multiplies over a period of time. So the money makes money over a period of time. So if you give time for your investments, the investments will automatically grow. Just a simple example, at 8.1% of your PF, had you held on for say 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, people retire, they would have contributed few hundreds, they would have contributed few thousands. When they retire, they get it in few lakhs or probably in few crores. That is because money gets compounded over a period of time. We don't need to do anything else, just buy, hold, let the money compound. That's what Einstein says. That's what Einstein says. Compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand this will learn it, otherwise they will pay for it. If you do not understand this, because சின்ன வயசுலயே வீடு வாங்கணும், சின்ன வயசுலயே இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணணும். You invest at the younger age. Hey, when you go to office, when you get salary, you invest. Hey, you save. How much you saved? Why father and mother is asking this question to the young generation is because சின்ன வயசுலயே பண்ணணும்னா because the time factor. If you do a smaller amount on a longer period of time, say 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, it itself will take care of you. Very simply, 20 years of good career. For example, somebody at 22 years, 23 years, they save good amount, they have a discipline, we call PDF, patience, discipline, focus. If you have a discipline, if you have a focus, if you have patience for 20 years of a good career, even at 45 years, they can retire because the first 25 years of an income will take care of the rest of their life. That is the next slide that we are going to see. So we discussed little bit about real estate. We discussed little bit about equity. We discussed, so there are a lot of bankers here, they can understand fixed deposit is better. Fixed deposit is nothing but a borrowing program. Canara Bank or State Bank is just borrowing money from your end and they are lending it to somewhere else. Whatever the difference, the bank will enjoy the NAI and it is just a lending program. So all depends on the demand and supply. So fixed deposit, we don't need to learn much for a simple reason. By buying a fixed deposit, by buying insurance policy, nobody has become crorepati. Because in your life, you would have bought LIC policy, you would have bought a lot of insurance, you would have bought a lot of fixed deposit. By buying insurance policy, LIC policy, people have not become crorepati. So that's not the discussion that we are going to have. So we are going to scrutinize which asset class one should invest, and what are all the ways that we can make an investment, what are the formula. Even at an younger age, I have a method for a school kid, say 5 years 10 years school kid, how they can save money. I have a formula for a lower income member, 10,000 20,000 if they are earning, how they can also become a crorepati. Suppose you are in a middle income group, 50,000 to 1 lakh, how you can also become crorepati. And people are already earning sufficient income, how they can become multi crorepati is what the next formula is going to be. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's run this. Yeah, no video. Let's get into the video. Let's see this video for a minute. This will help you to understand. This will help you to understand how compounding has helped. Not hearing. Uh, you can listen to the. So I don't know some audio issue, but the point here is even a single price on a longer period of time it multiplies. You cannot even count it. That's the power of compounding. Today, Warren Buffett is almost 95 years old. He has become rich only after 60 years, 65 years. Most of his wealth has created after 60 years. Today, he is the richest person thanks to his investing at the age of 13 or 14. It is almost 70, 80 years of compounding. That is the reason there are a lot of startup guys, there are a lot of people earning in crores and millions and billions. Is not matching Warren Buffett is the reason that money is making money. What we are doing is that we are giving our time just saving and investing, whereas the money is not making money. So we need to find or scrutinize an asset class which will help you to multiply the money. so so people have asked, because Hari sir has given this topic, even by investing in 1 rupee. Now that you understand what is power of compounding. So people asked me, even during the over the phone call, how you will make 1 crore by investing at 1 rupee. Very simple concept. Out of the four formulas, one such formula, it would not be applicable. Just wanted to tell you the importance of power of compounding. Just to tell you how power of compounding is extremely critical. Just to illustrate as an example, I just wanted to project this. Suppose let's take 1 rupee. Let's take only 1 rupee. Every month, 1 rupee you are saving. Let's say you are doing it for 100 years. You may be at 30s, you may be at 40s, 100 years, 140. Let's not get into an illustration where I will not live for 140 years, I will not live for 100 years. Let's ignore that. Just for a hypothetically, I just wanted to tell you how power of compounding works. So let's take this as an example. So 1 rupee you save every month. Let's do it for 100 years. So we have already discussed some asset class have delivered 15% returns plus. Let's take an assumption 15%. We can even work for 10% or 7%. Percentage of returns does not matter. What we need to worry is always the time. The time determines the value, not the quantum of money that you make in investments. Suppose you do 1 rupee. In 1 year, you will save 12 rupees. Correct? In 10 years, you will save what? 120 rupees. You are investing only 1 rupee. Let's do it for 100 years. How much you would have saved? 1200 rupees. Let's take a guess. At the 101st year, how much your 1200 rupees investments value would be? Just take approximate guess. Just to tell you the power of compounding. Assuming ஒரு ரூபாய் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, ஒவ்வொரு மாசம் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, ஒரு வருஷம் பண்ணா 12 ரூபாய், 10 வருஷம் பண்ணா 120, 100 years பண்ணா 1200. So 1200 rupees investing, what would be my value of my investments at 15% at the 101st year? Any guess? We have some nice chocolates, gifts to give. Prabhu is there to give you. Just guess, no. Just guess. I told you the power of compounding. So we saw that video that how one nil money has multiplied in crores or few thousands. Any guess? There is no right wrong answer. It's not that everybody knows everything. It just give some answer. No. Huh? 1 crore. Some number. Maybe in crores you can tell me. Maybe in lakhs or crores you can tell me, or whatever. Seasoned person. Okay. So it actually, if you do the math, even 1 rupee for 100 years, if you do, at the 101st year, it works out to 24 crores. It is not 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore. So don't ask me a question, because don't question my question by saying, no, I am not going to live for 100 years. I am not going to live. Let's not get into the argument. Just wanted to tell you the importance of investing for a longer period of time. Long period is not 3 years. Long period is not 5 years. Long period is not even 10, 20 years. Creating money is different. Creating wealth is different. So people are wealthy. Rich people are always wealthy is because it is this formula, the power of compounding. So this is one formula that I wanted to tell you. So the second formula, suppose you have got kids. You will not find anything in YouTube. These are all things that I follow in my own company. So this has got almost 2 lakh views in Instagram. I have done it in News 18 also. This is a very interesting formula. So in schools and colleges, we don't study finance. Correct? In schools, you have to study well, you have to score well, then you will get a good job. After you get the good job, you have to buy a property. You have to have a property, because otherwise you will not get a girl. So this is what we study in schools and colleges. In schools, they don't teach 3 things. One is that they don't teach you how to save money. They don't teach you how to invest. They don't teach you what is that called? I should say, they don't teach you how to do business on your own. Schools always teach you how to become number one. I have 100% percentage. 10th standard, 100 percentage marks. Everybody cleared. College, everybody cleared. Because people in schools and college, we have been taught how to be a rat race. People in schools and colleges, they don't teach how to be happy in life, how to do and investing in life. Why investing is an important? Because there are life lessons that we need to learn. What we are reading is just reading something, scoring some marks. That marks that's not going to help in the day to day life. So let's take this as an example. Why I am very specific here is this is for the school kids. People who are in the age of 6 years, 10 years, if anybody is watching, they can actually do this math. Every day you need to say 1 rupee. Say again a 1 rupee formula. So January 1, you need to say 1 rupee. Suppose you have a 6 year kid, 8 year kid, 10 year kid, because it is very important for the school kids to know. I'll give you a practical example. In our neighboring country, Pakistan, Imran Khan went and told politics to third standard guy, fifth standard guy, seventh standard guy. Everybody questioned Imran Khan. Hey, why are you telling all this to a young kid? They don't even having a voting right. Why are you even telling them? Then all the kids turned 18. When all the kids turned 18, everybody voted for Imran Khan. Imran Khan became a prime minister. The reason why I'm saying this here is that when you teach good things, when you teach good habits, habit is nothing but HABIT. Last two letter is bit, it. Last three letter is bit. Last four letter is yeah bit. Then last five letter is habit. First it, bit, yeah bit, then habit. When you teach good things at the younger age, it will go in their mind. Because today the problem that we are facing, I am meeting a lot of youngsters, 25 years, 30 years. Everybody wants to impress the neighbors. If you bought two-wheeler, I will buy three-wheeler. I buy car. Everybody is, in debt. Today, most of the youngsters, they don't save. They don't understand the importance of saving because they want to impress neighbors. They want to impress their friends. They want to impress their colleagues. That's the problem that we are facing. So I used to tell this when I address financial freedom program. I tell this: the modern guys, they are not in chains, they are in slaves, in debt. All the modern guys, if you notice it, 10 people if you see, 6 of them or 7 of them is in debt. I'm talking about even the including CFOs, CEOs, MDs, irrespective of any position. Because today, like Avayar has told, Aram செய்ய விரும்பு. Today the situation is பொருள் செய்ய விரும்பு. இன்னைக்கு அவையார் இருந்து அதான் சொல்லியிருப்பார், பொருள் செய்ய விரும்பு. Because world has gone into a materialistic. People today, we have got fridge, we have got washing machine, we have got everything in life, but we don't have people in our home. Because today world is totally different. So coming back to the topic, the young kids should know this saving habit, because once they turn 21, 22, or once they get into a career, they should not get into the debt trap like we are seeing in the last 10 years, 15 years. Because RBI has given data. There are a lot of bankers here. RBI last week has given a data which was really alarming. 2 lakh crore outstanding is there in the credit card. 2 lakh crore outstanding. Some of the money will come back to the bank. But look at the way the people spend in credit card. The people who spend in credit card in the age group of anywhere between 21 to 50. Maximum. What they will do, because credit card is an unsecured loan. It's not a secured loan. Housing loan, there is a property where the bank can go and take it. Because credit card is based on the profile. 2 lakh crore outstanding is there. Why 2 lakh crore outstanding? Because anything they wanted to impulsively buy. I don't have this. My kids used to ask, Papa, buy this, because they don't understand the value. You have to understand the value. So that I wanted to tell to the young kids who are watching online as well as the program here. So 1 rupee you have to save every day. So January 1 rupee. Let's take an example. January 2 means 2 rupees you need to save. January 3 means 3 rupees you need to save. So January 31st means you'll have to save 31 rupees. So in a year, for example, first month you will save about 400 rupees. It's something like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 364 plus 365. That formula, right? N into n plus 1 divided by 365. That formula. So in the January month you will save 400 rupees. Second month you will have 1000 rupees, maybe 3000, 4000. In the end of the year, the kids will save 66,795 in a year. Assuming a 6 year kid, because you need to be at least 6 years to understand max, to go to understand addition, subtraction, multiplication, and all that. So 66,795 rupees they will save. Suppose a 6 year kid save this, opens a minor account, and do various investments like I have told. There are a lot of asset class that we are going to discuss post that. If they do it for 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, they themselves will be having in lakhs. So they will understand even a smaller money, even one rupee, even if I say, that will become few lakhs. Maybe that will become few crores over a period of time. So now at the age of 23, 24, 25, when they after they complete their school, once they go for a job, once they have a career, they will not be in debt. No, debt free is stress free, because today modern guys are fully into debt. So they will understand the savings, even a smaller amount, it will help them in crore. So they themselves can fund for their marriage. They can plan their retirement early, unlike our days. So this is one formula. So first formula we discussed, even 1 rupee, 100 years you save, will get more than 1 crore. We said 24 crores. The second one, for the school kids, every day we can save one rupee. That will help you to achieve few lakhs. In fact, if you do it for 18, 20 years, you will end up getting around 20, 25 lakhs. If you do it for slightly longer, you will end up getting in few crores. The third formula which I wanted to, so the third formula I wanted to tell you is, okay, let's take a normal person. Today my LPG cylinder is doing this guy. The delivery guy is doing this. People are earning 15,000 salary, 20,000 salary. They also will have a dream of achieving that 1 crore, 2 crore. So how for them, what is that we should do? Very simple. Save 100 rupees daily. Save 100 rupees per day. Every day you save. In a month, how much you would save? 3,000 rupees you would save. Do that. Do that regularly. In 10 years, you will have 8 lakhs. This is not simple arithmetic. This is not a simple Excel sheet. As I have told you, motivation is in abundance. Discipline is scarce. Everybody knows that we need to exercise every day. Are we doing it? So discipline is very scarce. So as I have told you, PDF, patience, discipline, and focus. That is very important. If you think, no, I know everything, all this and all that, this is not going to help you. This 100 rupees formula is for the lower income people. People who are earning even 15,000, 20,000, they don't need to crib. They don't know money is very big thing which I cannot do because I have to buy upu puli molaga, I have to do this petrol, I have to do this. They always give excuses. Excuses is not going to help you. So even 100 rupees per day, if you do it for 20 years, you'll end up getting 46 lakhs. 100 rupees a day, a 30 year can become almost 2 crores. Whether you have a discipline to do for 30 years, a 25-year guy, don't ask me what is the inflation adjusted returns after 30 years for 2 crores. I am only saying at least you will reach 1 crore. If you don't have an assets where you are, struggling in your life, if you have this asset, at least this asset will give you some income. Once you have this 2 crores, at least you can take care of your basic minimum needs. For 40 years or 50 years or 60 years, this worked out about 15% returns, but you can always take, as I have told you, returns is immaterial. Your time determines the value, not the quantum of money. Even 1 rupee, even 100 rupees you make an investments. Yeah, I will tell you that asset class. We discussed about that asset class. Equity we discussed. We discussed real estate. Gold we are going to touch upon little bit here and there. And where we will invest, I will tell you. So the third rule is, I have some income. I have not started. The reason why I am telling this rule now is that just to correlate the power of compounding, that video that we have seen, just wanted to correlate how the power of compounding is of help to you. This is the 15, 15 and 15 formula. This is the rule number 3. First rule, 1 rupee we discussed. Second rule we discussed 100 rupees. The second rule that we discussed is children formula 1 rupee. The third rule we discussed is the 100 rupees formula. The fourth one is the 15, 15, 15. 15 is nothing but 15,000 rupees. 15 is nothing but 15% returns. 15 is nothing but 15 years. If you do this 15, 15, 15, if you do this, you will end up getting 1 crore. Instead of 15 years, you do it for 30 years. Instead of 15 years, you do it for 30 years. Your 1 crore is not becoming 2 crores, 1 crore is becoming 10 crores. Let's take which asset class? Madam has asked a right question. Let's take index fund. Let's take equity fund. Let's take just simple buying index. The index itself has delivered. You don't need to buy this stock, that stock, this mutual, nothing. Just buy index, sit right on the portfolio. The index itself has delivered 15%. Even at 12% returns, as I've told you, this will be a significant corpus. What I am trying to say is that the time value of money, what we are learning today is the power of compounding, the time value of money. So 1 rupee we discussed, children 1 rupee we discussed, 100 rupees we discussed, even 15,000 rupees that you save. The time determines the value. This is the rule number 4. So here, so how to become a crorepati? Let's see this as an example. It's a very interesting example. As I have told you, your time determines the value, not the big asset class, not the quantum. As I have told you, even the PF money for 30 years, 35 years will help you. Even the PPF money, suppose you put 1.5 lakhs PPF, 1.5 lakhs, 1.5 lakhs, 15 years you put, because 15 years you cannot take out of the PPF. This is a 15 years lock-in. At the end of 12 years, the interest from PPF itself will give you 1.5 lakhs. That's a time value of money. You have to give the time. You have to give the time for an investments to work. So, suppose you want to become a crorepati. So, this is monthly SIP. I will tell you what is SIP. It's a mutual fund concept. Let's take 1,500 rupees as an example. So, if you do it for 30 years, you just need only 1,500 rupees. Assuming you retire at 60 years, you are at 30 years, you need to do for 30 years. At 1,500 rupees, you will achieve it. Suppose you do it for only 25 years. Whatever investing that you do, you need to invest 3,000 rupees. Suppose you do it for 20 years only. You don't have a longer time frame. You're already at 40. You want to retire at 60. You want to do it. You have to invest 6,600 rupees. Suppose you have only 10 years. You are planning your retirement only at the 50 years, 52 years. No, I want to retire at 60. Then you need to invest 36,000 rupees. What I am trying to tell you is that, yeah, 1,500 and 36,000, there is a difference of almost 30 times. Even at 1,500 rupees at an younger age that you do, you can become a crorepati. Again, the time value of money. Again, the power of compounding. Again, what we have to understand, the time determines the value, not your quantum of money. If you plan it late, then the quantum that you need to put is much higher than a younger guy who plans and make an investments at the younger age. So, madam asked a question, which asset class? There are various asset class available. Gold is there, silver is there, FD is there, land is there, property is there, mutual fund is there, equity is there, whatnot. There are many problems. There are a lot of asset classes there. But continuously, consistently, which asset class has beat the inflation? Your traditional post office has not beat the inflation, which we saw. Currently, PPF is giving you only 7.1%, whereas the inflation itself is much, much higher. Today, the traditional products may not beat the inflation. So you have to choose the asset class which beats the inflation, which is what real estate, which is what gold, which can be equity. This 3 asset class is available. So we need all the 3 asset classes. We cannot ignore real estate, we cannot ignore stock market, we cannot ignore gold. All the 3 asset classes. But the problem with gold, the problem with gold, and the problem with real estate, I just wanted to touch upon. We can have a gold, but buying a gold, what will happen? There is an emotions attached. Gold has terribly underperformed in the last 10 years, whereas 15 years return is much better. Last 10 years return in gold is not even 7%. Just go to history. The last 5 years return is much better, because last corona time, the rupee depreciated so much. The gold has also appreciated. I will tell you how gold work. Simple concept. Suppose gold is traded in dollars. We have to understand gold is traded in dollars. Gold is a international currency, which means the gold is traded in dollar. Currently, it is hovering around 2,000 per ounce. Because we have to purchase from outside India, Current rupee to dollar is 81, 82. So let's take 2000 rupees is what the gold price is quoting currently, and 82 rupees is what it is quoting as a currency, rupee to dollar. Assuming the gold prices have gone up from 2000 say to 2200, 2500, you will make money because gold multiplied by rupee is the current value. You understand? Assuming the rupee goes up, which means the rupee depreciates against the dollar, you will make money. Assuming the rupee appreciates and the gold also depreciates, then you will not make money. So to give you a very simple context, the last 30 years, 40 years, rupee to dollar was 6 or 7 rupees. It is currently at 80 rupees. From 6, 10, 15, 50, 60, 60, 70, today is 80, 82. Rupee has been a constant depreciating asset class. Rupee is nothing but the currency which I am talking about. Rupee against the dollar is a constant depreciating asset class. Whatever returns that we have seen predominantly in gold is because of the rupee depreciation. As I have told you, India is growing. So I will come to that why we should not invest more into gold a little later, but you have to understand how an asset class works. So gold has performed well in the last 30 years, 40 years. There is a saying in Tamil, பொண்ணுல பணம் போட்டாலும் மண்ணில் பணம் போட்டாலும் கீழே போகாதுன்னு சொல்றதுக்கு ரீசன் என்னன்னா, because rupee has never appreciated against dollar. My 82 rupees to dollar has not come to 60 rupees or a 50 or a 40. It has never happened in the history because we have got high import, less export. Whenever any country has got a high import because of huge population, 140 crores, so obviously the currency will depreciate. So let's come to the other asset class. So gold has got a problem. So then real estate. The real estate, the context is totally different. Karl Marx used to say 200 years before, land is the only source of income. Karl Marx is the communist, who is also an economist, was an economist. His theory accepted after he died only. Okay, he has been accepted as a communist, saying that, he actually told in his theory, land is the only source of income 200 years before. If you have a land, you can do an agriculture. இடம் இருந்ததுன்னா வீடு கட்டலாம், வீடு கட்டினா வாடகை கொடுக்கலாம், இடம் இருந்ததுன்னா அக்ரிகல்ச்சர் பண்ணலாம். So he concluded that land is the only source of income. The rich people have got the land. If we divide the land and give it to all, everybody will become rich. So that is how the communism theory has started way back 200 years before. Because the land was the only source of income. But today in 2023, land is not the only source of income. Today mutual funds, stock market, some cryptocurrency. Today we are seeing Zomato, artificial intelligence. There are so many ways that you can make money. It's not in one asset class. There are a lot of businesses that have evolved. The point here is what was applicable today. Karl Marx theory has defeated in terms of real estate. Because today land is not the only source of income. There are various sources of income. So if you buy a wrong land, suppose you buy a wrong property, suppose you bought a property which has not done well, then the entire money which is struck in that asset class. So that's not the case in the financial asset. So let's discuss that. So equity has outperformed any other asset class. Not 1 year, not 5 years, not 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Equity on a longer period of time likely to perform better because the scenario today in 2023 is different from 20 years before because today India has got a young demographic profile. The markets is not coming down, the stock market is not coming down for various reasons. Let's see how India is placed currently. Today, you take Microsoft. Who is the CEO? Is an Indian CEO. Today we are having a Google. Who is the CEO? Indian CEO. Why? Because why an Indian CEO to be there? Because they want an Indian presence. They want to capture Indian market. Today, even Apple phone wants to sell something, they have to come to an India because we have got a young population. Today, we are China plus one story is because today we have young demographic profile. Less than 30 years of age, almost 40% of the population. Less than 35 years of age, almost another 10% of the population. Almost 50% of the population is less than 35 years. That is the reason world is actually, really surprised. Not because of one political party or because of the governance, because of the demographic profile. India will grow. So today India is placed at $3.75 trillion. It was about $1 trillion few years before. In the manner in which the India has grown in the last 3 years is terrific. As I have told you in the beginning of my conversation, people don't buy Alto 800. The per capita income has gone up. Today you cannot get a two-wheeler for 50,000 rupees, 60,000 rupees. Today, minimum two-wheeler is 1 lakh, 1 lakh 50,000, 2 lakh, 2.5 lakh. That was not the case. Let's not get into judgmental. Whether it is right, wrong, let's not get into judgmental. I am only saying the per capita income is going up. Today, earning 1 lakh salary is nothing. Today, getting 10,000, 15,000 people, you will not get it in your life. So today, the Indian demographic profile is determining. That's what our Prime Minister also told in the conference few months before. India from fifth, it is likely to be third in the next 10 years. So that we are seeing. This was not the case in 80s and 90s because அலைப்பாய்தே படம் பார்த்தா உங்களுக்கு தெரியும். அலைப்பாய்தே 2000 it has come. The software boom. People are born post 2000, they have not seen any bad times. That we call Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. People in 60s and 70s, they will be very traditional in mind. Up to 80s, they will be very conservative because when you see the movies also, lockdowns, layoff, job will not be there. People are born post 90s, they haven't seen any problem at all. People are born in 90s, they used to be very aggressive in life because after 2000, after the tech, that software boom has come, people have seen everything flourished in life. So what I am trying to say is that in a scenario of 2023, where the country is growing, the young demographic profile is going to rule the entire world. If you are not going to do in any of the financial asset class, if you do it only in traditional asset class, buying a land, buying a gold, buying PPF, post office, bank fixed deposit, is good. But it will not beat the inflation. It is not going to help you to achieve financial freedom and passive income. So last 5 minutes slide. So let's take real estate, debt, gold, US equity, India. So Indian equity last 20 years it has delivered 16%. US market has also delivered about 13%. Gold has delivered only 12%. Debt, real estate. So equity as an asset class has done really well. So that 100 rupees, 1 rupee, 100, 15,000, all that you can do it through an asset class, through a mutual fund route. Mutual fund is actually an investment vehicle. Let's see how equity has done well in the last 25, because we have a misconception saying, no, equity na kida paidom, market na kida aidom, equity is risky. Let's see an example. Let's take for last 20 years, how Sensex or a Nifty has delivered. In the last 20 years, I have the data from 2003 to 2023 until this financial year. Almost 75% of the times the market has delivered positive returns. We think that no, equity will not give you returns. But if you see, people have invested 75% of the times. Not one, maybe 2008 is a crisis. 2000, maybe 2020 is a crisis. Other than that, the bull markets are longer than the bear markets. Almost 70-80% of the times people have invested. Very simple. People have invested and stayed for 5 years have made money. Any market, people have stayed for 5-7 years. So longer period of time, the equity has delivered returns. So this is what I wanted to tell. The sense, பாரதியார் சொன்ன மாதிரி தேடி சோறு தினந்தென்று பல சின்னஞ்சிறு கதைகள் பேசி மனம் வாடி உழன்று பிறர் வாட பல செயல்கள் செய்து நரை கூடி கிழப்பருவம் எய்தி கொடும் கூற்றுக்கு இறையென பின்மாயும் பல வேடிக்கை மனிதரை போல விழுதாயோ அப்படின்னு சொன்னார் இல்லையா. அவர் ஸ்டாக் மார்க்கெட்டுக்கு சொன்ன மாதிரி, irrespective of the global problems today, the stock market is not coming because people are buying, because world is moving towards this mobile and internet. The young demographic profile, they don't want to stand in the register office in the for buying a property, sweat it, giving a bribe and all that. The world is moving towards mobile. At least 200 times the young demographic profile is seeing the mobile and the internet. As long as the internet and mobile is going to rule the world for next 20-30 years, the financial assets will do wonders. So equity mutual funds can do wonder. So as I told you, in 20 years, almost 75% of the time. So then this is our last rule, because we discussed rule number 1 and rule number 1 for kids. We discussed 100 rupees, we discussed 15,000. This is the last rule that I want to discuss. This is called rule 843. 843. Anybody knows this rule? 843. So 843 rule says every 10 years, let's take this as an example. Let's take 8 years. Let's hypothetically, I wanted to explain this. Suppose you do 30,000 rupees. In 8 years, you will achieve 50 lakhs. In another 4 years, you will achieve another 50 lakhs. In another 3 years, you will achieve another 50 lakhs. So the time is coming down if you notice it. 843. What I really like is at the end of 20th year, every year you will add 50 lakhs. That's the power of compounding for you. You invest in equity index, or you invest in SIP, you invest in mutual funds, or index, or any investing for that matter. I'm not talking about even an asset class. I'm only talking about 843 rule. If you do this on a longer period of time, the money multiplies over a period of time. Very simple. In 8 years, you'll get 50 lakhs. In another 4 years, you'll get another 50 lakhs. In another 3 years, you'll get another 50 lakhs. The time is coming down if you notice it. By the time you reach 20 years, every year you'd add 50 lakhs. That is the reason rich is always richer. As I have told you, power of compounding, and your time determines the value, not the quantum of money. So last couple of sites, I think I am running. So this is despite, as I have told you, real estate, gold, anything, any asset class that you can do. But if you want to achieve 1 crore, maybe 2 crores, maybe 5 crores, or whatever, equity is an asset class which can deliver superior adjusted returns. Because if you want to liquidate, you can liquidate. In real estate, you cannot liquidate. You want to invest even 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, you can make an investment. Whereas in 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees, a smaller people cannot buy a real estate or a gold. Even a 1 gram gold coin today is 5500 rupees. Even a smaller amount, you can do it in a financial asset class. So the equity delivered 15-16% returns is not on a linear basis. There are so many problems. Every day the media projects every problem is our problem. If you notice it, வேற ஏதாவது ப்ராப்ளம் இருந்தால் அது நீங்க தான். Anything it projects, it is our problem. But despite every problem, we have seen Asian financial crisis, we have seen Kargil war, we have seen COVID, we have seen meltdown, we have seen US problem. Despite that, equity on a longer period of time has delivered returns. What you have to do is that buy an asset class, hold on to the asset class, keep buying. Whenever you just buy through phases through an SIP route. SIP is a route where you can buy monthly basis, lump sum, whenever you have money, whenever the market is going down, you can buy one time. So likewise, you can do an investments. So suppose if you continue in a traditional asset classes, nothing like you will continue to make money, but thing is it will not beat the inflation. As I have told you, your success depends on the risk that you take. Your survival depends on the risk that you avoid. So you have to, in this era of 2023, taking no risk is the biggest risk, because you will outlive your money. You think that you will have 20 lakhs, you think you will have 40 lakhs, you will think you will have 1 crore. That may not be suffice. I told you that masal dosa formula in the beginning of my answer, because for the same masal dosa, you need to spend more, you need to have more. So 99% of Buffett's wealth has come after his 50 years. So what we have to give is the patience, discipline, and time to determine the value of investing. So let's conclude. So start early. So don't try to impress the neighbors. Don't buy things immediately. Delay it, save it, earn it, and then spend it. Don't spend instantly, because instant spending is a prolonged problem for you. Then we discussed asset allocation. Asset allocation we have not discussed much, but we discussed about various asset class, how we can has performed. And we discussed debt free, because most of the people are in debt today. கடன்ல தான் பாதி பேர் வாழறாங்க. So my mantra is always no debt till death. சாவர வரைக்கும் கடனே வாங்கக்கூடாது. Because what will happen when you don't have a debt? You are already ahead of some people because most of the people are in debt today. So debt will give you, will not give you a peace of mind, because we need peace of mind. We need peace from mind also. People don't sleep. People lose pride because of having more debt. So இதெல்லாம் கடன் இல்லாம இருக்கணும், கொஞ்சம் சேவ் பண்ணணும். For that you need to create the habit. That habit will give you routine. Routine will give you success. Success means Nesto. So finally conclude. So taking no risk is the biggest risk, and we need to take an asset class which gives you the maximum potential, and equity is an asset class has delivered much better returns. So there are ways that we discussed. We discussed 1 rupee formula for kids. We discussed 1 rupee formula for 100 years. We discussed 843 rule. We discussed 15,000 15,000 rule. We discussed 843. Every 8 years, your money is becoming 50 lakhs. And every 4 years, you'll get another 50 lakhs. Every 3 years, you are getting another 50 lakhs. Every 20 years, in every year, you are getting 50 lakhs. That is because of time value of money and the power of compounding. So, if in case you have any doubts, I can take it forward. Otherwise, I wanted to conclude by saying, uh, thank you, Hari sir, for giving this opportunity to present it to your students and audience. No need to force. I'm sure this program would be of use to you. Yes, what I want to tell you is practical lessons. What I have learned in my last 21 years, I thought I wanted to share. Thank you, sir, for giving this opportunity.
Thank you so much for everyone. I think thank you Vijay for enlightening our colleagues and students. I hope this is really useful to everyone, and all your motivations. The people joined and stay there for entire seminar. Online around 60, 70 people are joined. So, this is what really motivating us to do more programs like this. And thank you so much for everyone. And next month, we are doing a seminar on working capital management, which is we are taking two live case studies how the organization is managing working capital with the bankers, and one organizations how he is poorly managed and become NPA. Another organizations how they were effectively manage their working capital and succeed in their businesses. So we are trying to present two major case studies of working capital management, mainly on inventory funding, which is coming up on August last Sunday of the month. So probably on the same time, we'll send you the invitations, and I hope that is a topic which is very close to my heart. The last month we have done the seminar on balance sheet analysis. How do we analyze the balance sheet? More of a basic understanding. The next seminar we will be doing at working capital management. Any other topic which you all feel, please put your views on comments or send it through a WhatsApp group. We love to take it up. We will bring the experts from the market and present it to that. And we will also love to support any study material or any articles, any papers, any research article which you all feel which is required for your career or enhancement of your knowledge. We love to do that. We as a Nesto committed to all our friends and colleagues and students to see that you'll grow up in your life. We strongly feels education and knowledge is the biggest investment, and we are here to support that. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.